We're live.
Now we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, folks, and everyone watching, welcome to this week's edition of Mauls, Balls and All, brought to you through the Irish Rugby Banter Group. A very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be in the world. And thank you for joining in. Ask a question, offer an opinion, and we're live on YouTube as well also. Joining me this evening is Matt Boland, Mike Reedy and Claire Devaney. Hopefully Peter Martin will be back on. We lost him temporarily there. And before we start, we did say that we would have had a guest on. Hold on, here's Pete now. Just some temporary, there's Pete there. How are you, Pete? I did say earlier in the group that our guest this evening was going to be Sabina Moylan of hersport.ie, ex-Connacht, referee, etc. But unfortunately, due to some Wi-Fi and technical issues, Sabina won't be joining us this evening, but will in fact join us next week instead. Now, I was introducing Mike Reedy's with us. Claire Devaney is with us, and she has her furry friend, her four-legged furry dog, there beside her somewhere. She just showed us.
Yeah,
right,
there we go.
Okay, there you go. There you go. Look, very good. Very good. And Peter Martin, how the hell are you, Pete? How are you, gents? How are you, Claire?
Hello.
All good.
Are we all well in ourselves? All right.
Good in the hood.
Super.
Hi, Megan. How are you? Evening all from Megan.
Good evening,
how
Megan.
are you doing, Megan? How are you? Okay, listen, I'll tell you what. We will do. Oh, there's hold on, Gregor as well. Hi, Gregor. How are you?
Good evening, Gregor.
Right. Okay. How are you, Gregor? Right. Are we all well in ourselves? Are we all good? Yeah. All good. Anyway. Yeah. All good. Excellent. Okay. Peter Martin, I'll come to you first. Let's go on this. After the final last weekend, there was a lot of chat in different groups. Hi, Catherine, and hi, Joe. There was a lot of chat. How are you? I hope you're keeping well. There was a lot of chat in different groups, particularly the Leinster groups. Leo out, 3 in a row, not good enough. Get rid of him. Change the guard. Any credence in that, Pete? Or is it just premature? No.
You can understand it, I think. It's not necessarily my preference. I think really there's an element of shit or bust, I think, though, as regards certain players being selected. I think going forward, to be honest, there probably needs to be a shift, a change in selection, I would argue, for the Connacht match, which is on Friday, and I would say for the rest of the URC campaign. Like that, I think that's really as simple as I can put it. This time last year, we didn't have a URC to play for. Our season ended, tail between legs. Was quite, everything was just basically Lee Naber's coming, it's going to change, everything's going to change, everything, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Season ended, and we are where we are now. So it's all guns blazing, like, for the remainder of the season, and it just simply has to be.
Yeah. Okay. So would you dismiss this Leo out? Yeah. Would you dismiss the Leo out brigade out of hand, Pete?
Not entirely.
Okay.
Not entirely. Like I put it to you like this. I might be getting a bit more kind of fed up with the current state of play as regards the management and so on in the next couple of weeks if we aren't seeing some sort of purge of the pain from last Saturday. That'd be my view.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Okay. Claire, this Leo out stuff, any
No, people are reacting. People are reacting, and they react off emotions. Three losses on the trot in 3 finals, 3 years on the trot. It is a bit hard to take, but I don't think Leo out is the call. Let's see. I'm going to channel my inner Liverpool supporter, even though I'm not a Liverpool supporter, and go, next year is their year.
Down with that sort of thing, Claire.
Jeez.
I'm not a Liverpool supporter, but I'm just so
am.
used to them saying it. Oh,
Just like
sorry.
this is Irish rugby banter, not anything to do with football.
Yes,
or
yes. Thank you, Matt. Thank you, Matt. Okay. Now, folks, don't forget, now, Leo has, he's won a Heineken Cup and he's got 4 URC titles under his belt as coach.
Oh.
Mike Reedy, this Leo. Sorry, Claire, were you finished?
Yes, I was finished.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. Mike Reedy, what do you think about all this Leo Ed stuff?
I think it's a bit premature. However, I agree with what Peter Martin just said, and if the URC turns out to be another failure, that's 3 years in a row Leinster won't have won a trophy, and really and truly, lads, that isn't good enough for Leinster rugby right now with a squad of players they have at their disposal, and I honestly do think a conversation will have to be had if it turns out to be a failure in the URC. However, to be calling for his head right now is. It's not rugby for starters, lads. It's not rugby. It's not the way rugby is generally like conducts its business, you know. So I do see the frustration. Like I'm frustrated. I'm not specifically a Leinster supporter. I will support Leinster when they're playing any other team outside of Munster, but I don't know. I don't think you should be shouting for Leo out. No, I think it's a bit premature. And I do see where it's coming from. You know, people are like Claire just said. You know, the emotions are running high. You know, but there will be a conversation needed to be had, lads. If this goes wrong in the next few weeks, being honest.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Claire, and thanks, Pete. Megan Augusta. Loyal viewer Megan says load of bollocks regarding Leo out. Okay, we've lost 3 in a row, but all blame can't be left on the coach. Good point, Megan. Yeah. And Matt, before I just come to you, just Joe Lyons has commented there. No, total crap, fine margins in all 3 finals, and he's playing with arms bound with players in the test team. Leo's got the players' support. And one last one, Matt, before I ask you. Mike, players at our disposal. Sadly, that is not the case. How much time do we have all our players at the same time? It's a balancing act that we have to take into account. Well, that's true, Joe. I mean, how often do we see Leinster's first team playing in the URC bar a final? So
Are we going to be known as the new Claremont of Verne? They lost 3.
Yeah,
they're the ones with the record, and now we've three finals, 3 losses, and now we've caught up with them.
Yeah, true. Matt,
and they never came back.
Yeah, good point, Claire. Good point. Matt, this idea of Leo out, would you lend any credence to it?
Look, in the immediate aftermath of a loss, it's complete emotions, it's anger, it's a mixture of different things, and I think it's premature in people reacting straight away to going Leo out, Leo out, Leo out. At the end of the day, rugby is a game of fine margins. And there was a metre, probably less than a metre in Frawley's kick that just went wide that would have sealed the game for us. Yeah. So if you look at from that point of view, like the fact that went into extra time as well, you know, we were in that game and it could have easily gone either way. And even the 2 finals previous to that, losing by a point in the first final against La Rochelle and then losing, albeit like a 19-point lead at halftime or whatever. But again, it's fine margins, and it's up to the team on the day. We could have gone out at any point in the Heineken Cup. In if you think about it realistically, in terms of how the game works, game management and fine margins, because it really is. It's such fine margins, and all your top players will always talk about, especially after a loss like that, it is the fine margins. And I suppose it's a bit of game management as well. But look, as Mike has said, it'll all kind of pin now on the URC as to what will happen. I wouldn't want to see him out. At the end of the day, he's got us to 3 finals in a row. That's some mean feat in itself. We have 4 Heineken Cups. We have how many URC championships? Pro 14.
4.
You know, so calling for him to be fucking outed already, it's a bit premature. But again, I'd say that there is pressure there now from the powers that be, and pressure from the fans that will come on board to him, where, you know, he'll want to start delivering something now because we're a long time without a bit of silverware. So the pressure will definitely be on now towards the end of the season.
Okay. Thanks, Matt. Thank you all. Before we move on to the next topic, Joe Lyons in there again. We are not a football club. Chopping a coach doesn't automatically mean success. How many coaches are going to be able to say 3 losses in total in the past 3 years of EPC? Yeah, true. Fair enough, Joe. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, Matt, back to you. I'll go around this way. James Tracy was on Off the Ball, and obviously the final dominated all the media outlets, and it'll probably dominate our show tonight, just simply because Leinster were in it. He was on. He's been interviewing Off the Ball. I saw this on Twitter, and he said a very, very interesting thing. And I just wanted to see if you would all agree with this or disagree with it or have another avenue on this. He said that Leinster would have won that game if Johnny Sexton was on the pitch.
But Johnny Sexton wasn't on the pitch.
I know. But I know that. If Mianti had balls and all that, I know that.
Yeah.
And the reason he was saying it was because he said Johnny would have called those kicks, the 4 or 5 kickable penalties that Leinster had. Johnny would have called them to take those kicks. And the point that Tracy was making was that Doris, there was no captain, there was no captain, there was no strong voice on the pitch to say, post, lads. There wasn't one voice to say, post. 4 or 5 kickable penalties. Toulouse took theirs. We didn't. Right?
Hold on.
Go out there. Go on.
He was on the pitch the previous 2 years and we didn't win.
I know, but in that particular final and the penalties that happened, the way they happened, that's the point James Tracy was making. Matt, what you know the point James Tracy was making? Would you agree with it or disagree with it or what?
Look, it's like that. Like, I mean, you can't go around saying if Johnny Sexton was on the pitch, this would happen, that would happen. You know, he wasn't on the pitch, and that's plain and simple. He wasn't there. Okay, you can argue the fact that maybe there wasn't a player there to stand up and go, no, lads, kick for the points. But if you think about it, right, look back through the season and look back through all the previous games that Leinster have played when they have kicked for the corner, I would reckon their percentage of converting into points was in the high 90s. And when a team is playing in a final, if confidence is there and they think they can get points, they'll absolutely go for it. It's very hard to pinpoint blame on anybody, any of the team players there to say, okay, I think we should go for points. It's all hindsight. You know, in hindsight, if we had gone and taken 1 kick, we would have won, you know.
Okay, Matt, I'll tell you what, right? I'll tell you what, right? Good point. But in the top 14, Toulouse have the second lowest concession of maul tries in the top 14, right? Leinster have the shortest maul tries in the URC. Now, the Leinster coaching staff should have copped that. Toulouse's defence on maul tries is brilliant. They're the second lowest conceding of maul tries in the top 14. That should have been something that Leo Cullen and co should have copped.
Well, yeah, 100%. If the stats were there before the game, and this is something that they knew going into this game, saying, right, lads, well, then a game plan should have been put in place to say, okay, lads, give it 2 or 3 attempts, and if it doesn't work, then start kicking. But like, who can we say that this wasn't done or this was done? Or again, being on a pitch is different to being up in the box. Like, you know, like when players decide to go, right, we're going for the corner, that's confidence, right? You know, Toulouse were, look, I don't think, if you look at the stats of that game, Toulouse weren't really in it, and they shouldn't have won the game entirely based on stats. Obviously, they won the game because they were smarter in their game management and that type of thing. And it was their game IQ. They were very knowledgeable to go, right, well, look, they just managed the game better, better than we did, and that's ultimately why they won. Not the only reason they won, but it's one of the facets of their game that made them win.
Yeah.
But again, like if somebody was on that pitch saying to say Doris going, no, I think we should take the points, they just weren't. They just weren't either vocal enough, or none of them wanted to say it. You can't blame anybody. They had their game plan, obviously, and that was what there was. It should have come down from the managers and coaches to go, right, this is the game plan. Game plan A, if this is happening, we stick with it. If it's not happening, we need to switch to game plan B. I've been on a pitch, and there's several different game plans in different scenarios. So I don't know, was there a breakdown in communication, or I don't know.
All right. Okay. Mike Reedy.
It's one of those subjects you could just waffle on for a long time.
Yeah, you did a great job at that match.
First and foremost, I'd like to say it's absolute bollocks that Tracy's even making a mention about this, because, like Claire just said, Johnny Sexton isn't on the pitch, so it's a absolutely pointless fucking comment. However,
no, Mike. Hold on. Sorry,
I know why he's pointing.
The point he was making was that there was no voice on the pitch to say, say, go for the fucking post. Take your fucking points, lads. Which Johnny Sexton would have done. Sorry, go on, Claire.
Captain's supposed to do that. That's what your captain's there for. Okay, well then is it a bad choice of captain? It's not that it's not Johnny Sexton. It's that was a bad choice of captain.
All right. Okay. Go on, Mike.
I would say that this is all being ironed out prior to the game kicking off. That this is agreed by the coaches, by the management, that this is what we're going to do. If we get penalties, we're going for the corner. That's the road we're going to go down. Listen, lads, it's the way Leinster have played for fucking the last 2 or 3 years. It's the way Ireland have played. See, during the World Cup, how many penalties did we kick at goal? Very fucking few. And Johnny Sexton was on the pitch, so there you go. And it has cost us games previously, lads. There's no doubt about that. And my opinion would be Leinster should have probably, in a final, it hasn't worked the last fucking 2 years. Let's do something different. Let's take all points available. Toulouse done it and they won the fucking game. So I don't know whether, who knows? Who knows whether we would have scored those penalties? Maybe Ross Byrne had said, I really don't fancy that. I don't fancy that one. It's too far to the right.
Exactly. And like only the players themselves can say that. And I think it's very harsh for an ex-player to say something like that, knowing exactly what goes on the pitch. I think you're spot on.
I think it's an absolutely pointless comment, to be honest with you. He could have turned around and just said, maybe we should have taken the points. Maybe we should have kicked the goal. And I'm not going to disagree with that. If that's what. Maybe, but hindsight's a great thing, and I don't buy into this these Mauls statistics either, because Leinster don't score even though they kick to the corner, they tend to have line out plays rather than Mauls. I know some teams like Ulster fancy the Maul more, and maybe even Munster, but Leinster that's not they. I mean they have all sorts of moves, different kind of pre-planned plays, from line-out situations. But they do score a lot of tries from
100%.
From line-outs, and it's a good.
I know, but Mike, the fact that Toulouse are the second lowest in Maul attack tries in the top 14 should have told Leinster something.
To be fair, it didn't work. It obviously didn't work, and there was all sorts of other aspects of the game that work. So
bring back Lancaster.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, Claire, you moved on my screen, so but you were next.
Yeah.
I'll come to you. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, as I said earlier on, Sexton was on the pitch the 2 previous years we lost. So I mean, you can't. Maybe we should have took our points. Maybe there should have been. The captain's meant to be telling you what to go and what you're doing. Not meant to be telling you what to do, but the captain's meant to be the voice. So Doris should have been Doris should have been telling them, listen, we're going for points, take the points. Maybe they thought we'd be able to beat them and get tries. I mean, we would have been if we had got the try, it would have been amazing. But hey, we live and learn. as I said, hopefully.
You've played the game, Claire. You still play it. We've all played the game, or enjoyed it or whatever. Mike, did you play the game? I'm sorry, I'm just dragging.
Very briefly.
Right, okay.
My rugby career was quite short.
It was a weekend. It was a weekend in 1972 or something like that, wasn't it, Mike?
I wasn't fucking that far back now. It was
but anyway, but Claire, if you were on that pitch and you were the captain, I think I would say take your points. Would you?
Yeah,
played the game.
I was where I was talking to a lovely fella called Peter down in Wexford. Hello, Peter. He watches this actually. He was shouting at the telly, go for the points, take the points.
Yeah.
And they should have been. Well,
half the fucking country was shouting the same.
Yeah, yes. Points. Yeah, no, yeah, that's you know what I mean.
Unfortunately, they can't hear
you. But here's the thing for you, okay? And I will say, if we had went for a point and we still had have lost, here's what we all would have been saying: why the fuck did they go for the points? Why did they not go for tries?
Look, it's the age-old question, really.
Yeah, we were never going to be happy. Sandra, you don't, yeah.
Okay, exactly. Okay, Peter Martin, your thoughts on this?
I don't know if anybody has seen online, but Murray Kinsella did a very detailed forensic breakdown of the penalties that were awarded to Leinster. He even had a graphic up with showing the direction of play and different colours coded for penalties awarded, what the outcome was, if it was a kick at goal, if it was a kick down the line, so on. To address the whole thing about the game plan is that it had very much appeared, and this is Murray's view and probably go along with it, basically Leinster took all the penalties that were very kickable, the easy ones, so pretty much from the 22 to the halfway line that were in the centre of the pitch, basically almost straight on the posts.
Mm-hmm.
Leinster took them on. My own view is that there was at least 3 penalties, and I'll even name one of them. It was the one after Baird won the turnover on the far right hand side that resulted in, I think it was Frawley was on the pitch at that stage. I think he went for a kick down the line. There was a couple of kicks down the line that weren't as good. They were short. And this is, I'm paraphrasing what Murray Kinsella said. They ended up, the line out maul, the line out that Leinster had as a result of the penalty, ended up being too far out rather than 5 metres in. He didn't basically, the kicks down the line weren't stitched to the flag, you know, to get really put the squeeze on. So there were, long story short, the Leinster maul starting point was too far out and therefore was probably easily defended. On a couple of those penalties, I would have said kick to the posts. Now, Murray had on his thing up saying that, you know, it was a little bit far. It was the right hand side of the pitch for that particular penalty that Baird won. There was another one as well that was ended up being a kick down the line. I would have said they were 2 penalties that were definitely were kickable. I would have said they should have kicked for it. But I do think there's an ingrained Leinster way of playing, and I just want to draw a reference to Off the Ball on Monday night, which had Andy Dunn and Jerry Thornley in it. And for anybody who hasn't listened to it, now I hadn't. I think one of the lads, somebody on the banter group, put it up and was talking about it. And I said I hadn't listened to it. I said Off the Ball's a lot of BS and blah blah blah. But I went back and listened to it, and I actually thought it was Andy Dunn, to give him his due, and Jerry Thornley, even though he's got a few funny opinions about different things. It was compulsive listening. I thought it was very, very good. It was a very, very informative thing. But it touched on the point that there was definitely a sense of a game plan that they were going to kick a certain amount of penalty goals. But the folly was that they kept on going for the line-out maul when it clearly wasn't working. And that's where, I suppose, really perhaps where John, what's his name, the hooker, basically said that it was a stronger voice. Somebody should have said, hang on, lads, this ain't working. We're not going down the line this time. We're going for the post. Ross, up you get. Your time is now. I would say as well that Ross had also given an interview to Pat McCarry where he had asked earlier on, I think it was at the end of last season, in the beginning of this season if Leinster had some sort of a game plan or a strategy were built in whereby they would take on drop goals during a game. And I thought Ross's answer was very, very interesting. He said, if Leinster are basically, he said, if Leinster are winning games, why would they do that? And I said, that I just felt, well, that just misses the goddamn point. That's assuming that we are going to win games. If you look at the stats from last season compared to this, the expected tries this season out of Leinster is down from 6 point something down to 4 point something. And of course, now we're getting into the whole Nienaber. The defense.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that piece. We'll get to that.
But the point is that I think there is an inbuilt kind of Leinster way to winning, and there's nobody perhaps there strong enough to say, hang on, right, if this isn't working, we need to go straight to, and everybody's on the same page. Yeah. Straight to you're looking at kick more goals or drop goals or whatever. It's not in Ross Byrne's armory. If anybody can tell me when the last time Ross Byrne attempted a drop goal, I'd say he was still in school.
Actually, funny enough, Pete, the last drop goal I remember an Irishman scoring was
Johnny Sexton against France.
Johnny Sexton
against
France. I was behind those goals for that.
Yeah, okay. Right, folks, just a few comments here. Megan Augusta, Johnny is gone now and people need to accept that instead of saying stuff like that because it's basically saying Leinster are nothing without Johnny, which is so untrue. Good point, Megan, yes.
Yeah.
Una McGowan, how are you, Una? Can our attack be salvaged to as good as it was? While this rush defence is implemented, do you think? That's a good point. Just briefly, what Una has said there, the rush defence, we fly around. Is the rush defence working, Claire? It's kind
not
of
really. Kind of, yeah. It's only.
Okay.
It's sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't.
Yeah, okay.
We'll see how it works in the RDS on Friday.
Okay, Pete, what Una said there, the attack, the rush defence.
Well, I think we have pretty much like look. You can bandy about as many stats as you want, and basically say, well, Leinster probably have on one side of those who'll say, well, Leinster's missed tackle stats are up through the roof. Yeah. Yes, they are, but that's the nature of a rush defence. Look, I do think long term, I would be at the end of the day, Nienaber has won 2 World Cups. Let's not forget that. So I would say, probably next season, the rush defense it'll be more bedded in than it is already. I'd say look, we still have the URC to play for. We could still come home with silverware.
Yeah,
but I think ultimately next season again, anyway, will be that much better again.
Okay, all right, good point, Claire and Pete. Mike, what Una said there, the rush defense. We won't spend too much time on this because we've lots to talk about. Go on.
The rush defense is working to a degree, but they're losing out on other aspects of the game by engaging the rush defense. I mean, the try that Toulouse scored, that was actually, well, it was due to a couple of factors. The fact that fucking Lowe was in the bin and what you call Frawley
was in the deck. We're down to 13 men.
So, I mean, you were exposed wide in that instance, but like in fairness, Toulouse have been a very potent attacking force during the whole course of the season. And they were reduced to that one scoring that one try when Leinster were obviously down to 13 players. So the rush defense is working if you look at it from that aspect. But I mean, we'll get on to the other point I was going to talk about, like other aspects of the game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Matt, thanks, Mike. Excuse me, Matt. This rush defense is it working?
Look, rush defense is a great tactic if it works. If it's activated and implemented right, it's brilliant. But if it's not implemented and it's not effective, you leave yourself open for missed tackles, for offsides, and for passes out wide. So it needs to be spot on for a rush defense to work. That's my
fair point, Matt. My only issue with a rush defense is that a decent opposition out half will wreck that.
A decent fly half that could read a rush defense.
Exactly.
Fucking shoot the ball in behind.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly that.
Like ideally, a rush defense would need to be your borderline offside. Most of the back row, you'd have one player back, obviously full back, cover both sides of the pitch, and your rush defense. You're literally trying to get up, but if you don't get up in time and a pass is gone, it's fucking wiped out. But,
or a kick through, which results in the defending team needing a fucking top class fullback.
You need really good readers of the game, both in attack and defense, for a rush defense to work.
Yeah, true. Okay, Joe Lyons, the biggest loss happened before the game started. Leinster decided not to attack the breakdown for fear of getting pinned by Cardi. Toulouse did attack the breakdown and did so thinking they'd take the penalties in hope of slowing the game down. They played to their limits, and that's what lost the game. Elements.
Can I address that, Peter?
Go on.
There was a stat again brought out by Andy Dunn the other night, and he basically mentioned that there was something like 136 rucks Leinster had. The breakdown basically is, without insulting anybody, that's where your attack breaks down, right? So Leinster's attack didn't function, so therefore it broke down. The issue is that Toulouse, we didn't protect our own ball. Toulouse were phenomenal at the breakdown. That is where, as I've made a comment on social media on to other people, that is the beginning and end of where Leinster play, is the breakdown. When Leinster's attack breaks down, because it does, of course. It's from there that Leinster are able to recycle and go again. It's the speed at which they're able to do. We had no speed. Gibson Park got flattened, had a horrible time. He had no line breaks. His passing was slow because the ball was dead slow coming out of rucks. He wasn't able to make. He beat no defenders. He made no clean breaks. That's a sign of a scrum half under serious cosh at the breakdown. That is ultimately where it is. And just a significant hat tip to that English back row, Willis.
He was amazing.
Absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal.
30 something tackles, Peter. Something mad.
Crazy stat.
From the get-go,
Yeah, crazy stat considering our top tackler had 14, so more than twice he managed in Caelan Doris.
And he's Irish qualified.
Yeah, but he played for England.
How is he Irish qualified?
He's a quarter. I don't know. He had a fucking Irish dog or something. I don't fucking know.
Couldn't play for Ireland.
Yeah,
he's an Irish setter.
No.
He's an Irish setter. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, but
England are losing now big time.
3 years after having played in the World
Five.
Cup.
5. Okay. Right.
5 years.
Hold on.
England are losing now big time. Not calling him up.
Yeah. Okay. There's Sonia Croak. Hi, Sonia. And thank you. I think a change of mindset is needed. They are becoming accustomed to losing and seeing, even when Lancaster was there, to have lost a killer, put it to bed attitude. Yeah. Also, game plan was rigid and didn't adapt when things were not going their way. Maybe this joint captain thing just hasn't worked, and maybe Doris isn't captain material. Problem is, who is?
Do we not remember the day? Do we not remember the day where we actually couldn't even win a game at one stage a couple of years ago? I remember the bad old days in the RDS under Matt O'Connor. So
I remember them in fucking in Donnybrook.
Yeah.
That's
I know.
Point of Heinemite.
Into Kylie's 5-6 of Heinemite, my fine. Yes, and then over to Eddie Rock.
A few years ago, if you had said you would have lost 3 Heineken Champions Cup or whatever, Investec, whatever Champions Cup finals on the trot. At that stage, you would have bit someone's arm off. Or now we're complaining that we're getting to finals and stuff. I mean,
as Sonia said there in her question about the captaincy, if Doris isn't captain material, who is?
There's no one that's jumping out at me to be captain material. There's no one with that.
I think it's too early to say he's not captain material. I think these decisions were made prior to the game. However, he should have been strong enough to think on his feet. Think on his feet when things aren't going right. Let's fucking do something.
I would suggest
right.
that
It's
there
too
be a
early
change
for
in the
Doris.
arrangement for next season
Hold on.
somehow.
Go on, Matt. Sorry. Matt.
No, Pete was talking there. I'll go after.
Okay, go on.
No, I'm sorry. I was just going to say I would suspect there'll be a change in the arrangement. I think there's obviously a leadership group in that team, insofar as you've got the likes of James Ryan, and you've James Ryan, you have Gary Ringrose, you probably have Ross Byrne, you have Caelan Doris is there. I would suspect possibly even Josh van der Fleer is in the, like, basically the senior guys. A lot of the senior guys are all part of the leadership group, and they all basically kind of come together and they kind of probably have a chat with Leo or whatever, and then I won't say it's probably names in the hat, but they decide who's going to be captain. I wouldn't be surprised if they ditch the co-captaincy thing, because just to reference earlier in the season, it was embarrassing really to see James Ryan not being spoken to as a co-captain. Like, I can't remember which referee it was. So I'm not going to talk to you. I'm going to talk to him.
I know.
Yeah, because even at that time, even though it was even though they were co-captains, you had to name one full captain on the sheet, and they done that. That was in the RDS. I remember being at that game. Yeah, I remember us talking about it. Yeah,
the ref
we were at it, Claire, weren't we? Was I?
Yeah, we were. Yeah, you were at that game. We were in the South Stand. Yeah.
Sorry,
So we discussed it the following week.
The referee is not going to talk to anybody else other than the captain. And when they hear this co-captain, I'd say they all just go, for fuck's sake. I want
just take a fucking captain.
Let's reinvent the fucking wheel again.
It's different having a vice captain, because a vice captain will take over the captaincy duties when the captain goes off. Fair enough. But this co-captain thing is a lot of horseshit. Too many voices. The referee just won't listen. You just go.
Either an Eddie Jones thing or a South African thing. Obviously, they fucking must. Somebody wanted one of those two groups of fucking people.
I can't understand why they can't keep it like the good old days where you had the captain and then the pack leader, and the pack leader basically would have taken over.
Yeah,
that's it. Yeah,
that was the good old days, Pete.
But there definitely is. There's always a leadership group on the teams, and it's always the old, well, not like the old boys, the longer lads in the team, like, so the longer serving. But like, there's always. And it's a very tough situation to be. Poor Eldoris, he can't be blamed either, because he's not captain long enough to know all the tricks of the trade. And sure, nobody's going to sit you down and go, right, as captain, this is what you need to do. You need to be asking the ref this, you need to be asking the ref that, you need to be doing this. You learn by doing. So I'd be anybody that's giving out about Doris, they can go and fucking do one too.
Okay.
I actually do like Doris. I actually do like Doris as a person and as a player. I actually very fond.
Right, anyway, so
captain is not easy. You've got the team on your shoulders. Do you know what I mean? So it's a lot to take on.
For fuck's sake, James Grundon, he's a Mayo man. What do you expect?
There you go. Right, anyway, just before we move on, a few comments there from the viewers. Catherine Keegan. Hi, Catherine. At the end of the day, our discipline wasn't good and Toulouse punished us. Very true. Colin Morrison. Hi, Colin. Scoreboard pressure is key, and it's easier to be ahead than behind. Unfortunately, it was rather naive to use a driving maul against French teams who are extremely accustomed to defending them. Very true, Colin, yes. Last year, they had more strike plays from line-out play. Yes, absolutely, yeah. I'm sure, Colin, the French teams get that every weekend we get in the top 14 anyway. Joe Lyons, we also need to remember Nienaber didn't have a pre-season with the players, so this has had a massive follow-on effect on the team and its tactics. Wait till next season to judge the effectiveness of our new play. Joe, what about the 14 games that Nienaber said that Leinster would need to bed in the new system? Dara Weston, I finally got in and I've 2 weeks of comments after being away in Sicily. I've more jokes than James Grennan.
No, can we mute him? Can we mute him?
Dara Weston, would you go away?
Go back to fucking Cyprus.
Look off with these fucking dad jokes. Jesus Christ.
We don't want your jokes, Dara Weston. Go away. Dara Weston, we've lost nearly as many finals now as Munster have managed to reach. Good man, Dara. Always with Dara Weston again. JGP is captain material. If our co-captains both aren't
There you
on
go.
the pitch, then he should certainly be considered. Let's hope we get rid of our co-captain shite next season. Yes, absolutely. I think
Agree with
everyone
that.
agrees with this. Yeah. Jawline's 14 with a preseason. Okay. And before we move on, Megan, mute him.
Mute him, Chris. It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to mute Megan. Don't worry. I'm on,
Right,
on the
okay.
phone doing it.
Right, another one that I have here. The ongoing saga. Matt, I want to come to you first. So we go around the other way. The ongoing saga of Sam Prendergast.
Oh,
We've discussed it here before, right? Initially, it was, and I actually put it up. Initially, it was said that Leinster rejected the deal by Connacht and Prendergast wasn't going anywhere, right? That was it, done. Now we find out Nina Maher has said that no, actually, Prendergast is talking to Connacht, and there are discussions in place. And then another thing came out, which you know where this came from, that he could be going to France for more money. Some team in France, apparently, it's a rumor, folks. Rumor. Right, I'm emphasizing that it's a rumor. Some team.
and no one's going to tell us anything ever again because we just wrote it all over the social media.
I'm not naming where it came from, but you all know that a team.
Exactly.
We know. No, it's not common knowledge. But some team in France offering twice the money to go to France. Now, if he goes to France, that's his test match, his Irish test match career stopped, paused, stopped, right? Where? If you were advising Prendergast, I'll ask you all the same question. If you're all advising Prendergast where to go, right, Matt? What would you say to him? Because I know Matt, you have to leave us at 9:20. I know that. So where would you say? What would you say to Prendergast if you were his agent?
Like, Jesus Christ, if the chap wants more money and he wants to fucking, like, he'll only make that decision. Nobody can make that decision for him. Obviously, ideally, we wouldn't want him to go because he would be considered one of the future stars of fly half for Ireland, future-wise. But it's all fucking rumour. Connacht, France, only he will know, and only we will find out when he makes the decision himself. Would I want him to go? Absolutely not. Would I want him to go to Connacht? I wouldn't mind that because it doesn't show his career. Do you know what I mean?
On a loan though, Matt. On a loan to Connacht. I've no problem with. On a loan to Connacht.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
No problem with that. No problem.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, it's totally up to him, whatever he wants to do. But if, ideally, he's going to want to play for Ireland. So he will know himself if he goes beyond or outside of Ireland, he won't play. So would he want to do that himself for money? At his age, probably not, because he's got a long career ahead of him. Who knows?
All right. Okay. Good point, Matt. Mike Reedy. Yeah. Okay. Mike Reedy. What do you think?
I think if he was to make a decision to go to France, for instance, like for money, I think he's probably concerned about where he is in the pecking order at Leinster currently, which is a fucking joke, really, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, and I've been vocal about this already. He should be getting game time, like more game time at Leinster. He's had a little bit, but not enough. Going to Connacht, I said last week I didn't think it was a good career move for him because I think he'd learn more playing beside Gibson Park and those Leinster players. But this thing going to fucking France, lads, that's a no for me. Jesus, we can't be seeing that. That's if those floodgates start to open and more of our players that aren't getting game time with the current provinces might think they're off ski as well, So it puts it opens a whole new can of worms. I really hope he doesn't go to France, but if the guy decides to make a career move for money alone, then ouch.
Okay.
Is it a wise decision for him? I don't know. I hope he doesn't go.
Okay. Peter Martin, what would you advise Prendergast to do? Go to Connacht or take more money and go to France for a year or two, come back and take your chances?
Well, I didn't hear anything about the move to France. I think that's definitely...
You're in the chat group that we're all in. I put it to you.
He just ignores us half the time. He does what I do, mutes it for 2 days, and then goes back and goes, I'm not reading 863 messages. I'll just go to the last one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yes,
I have the
it's
group.
TLDR. That's the way it is. No, look, I think we discussed when we had Brett I go on here, we were talking about it, and there's pluses and minuses to both. From a Connacht perspective, they're getting a very good, talented young out half who is the next great out half, apparently. Let's hope that continues to happen. The other thing I would say is that Connacht, the two lads, there's two players in with Connacht, Cahill Ford and David Hawkshaw, who are 10, 12 guys who can play 10 and 12. They're both being put at centre. Hawkshaw seems to have been stuck out at 13. So whether
Hawkshaw's little brother as well.
That's true, Claire. Yeah, absolutely. I suppose the way it is, it's probably a strange kind of scenario insofar as it's not a vote for the two lads to step into the jersey because of JJ's ACL. But then on the other hand, the other side to look at it is that apparently he's pressing for this himself because he'd be sharing a house or whatever in the same team as his brother, his older brother. And look what's happened, Don't forget, Cian Prendergast was basically a Leinster reject. He took up an offer to go to Connacht, and look at him now. He's basically on the fringe of the Ireland squad. He's a few caps to under his belt. I suppose Sam is thinking, well, if it's good enough for the brother, it's good enough for me. He's clearly going there for game time. That's it. I suppose the issue is that, and this is what Brett kind of had said there the other week. Is the Connacht setup going to bring him on more than he would have if he had stayed with Leinster? Look, it's one of these things. Time will tell. If the loan is for a season, he could get a season, and he could play 20 games, which will be invaluable to him, and then he comes back.
True.
Or else it could be. We don't know. I would just say I wish him well and hope it works out.
Yeah, very true. Thanks, Pete. Thanks, Matt and Mike. Claire, your thoughts on this?
I'd say it's very tough for him, and that's just speaking of a mother with its son that was slightly older. I'd say it's very hard for him. He's listening to friends. He's listening to armchair people going, "Yeah, you're a number 10." He's had that for whatever year and a half. You're next number 10. You're this, you're that. Then you have people going, "Oh, you're the next Johnny Sexton." I'd say it's tough for him. And if he goes for a year or two to France, what's not to say he won't come back better? I wouldn't like to see him go. I really and truly wouldn't like to see him go. But Sam Prendergast has to make the decision for Sam Prendergast and not for everyone else.
I think my own personal view on this, folks, is I think Prendergast would be better off going to France for a season or two. I think he'd learn much more over there. I think their training regime would improve his overall play, his bulk, everything. I think he'd come back a far better player. Nothing against Connacht or anything like that. I just think for his own career, I think he'd be better off going, taking the big bucks, go over to France for a year or two, and come back and be that better player. I think. Anyway, just my view.
He needs to put.
Bullshit. I'm out. See you later.
Okay,
you gotta go. You gotta go. All right, Matt. We'll see you. We'll see you. Hopefully, see you next week. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy your evening. Good luck.
Cheers,
and just to reiterate what I said, Sam Prendergast needs to do what's right for Sam Prendergast and not listening to
us.
Like listening to us or the people going, "Oh yeah, you're this, you're that, you're that, you're that." He needs to listen to himself and do what's best for himself.
Okay.
And that's it.
Sorry. Go
on,
and
then come back was absolutely brilliant and amazing.
There you go. That's it. Okay, just a few comments to get through. Una McGowan, hope to fuck. It's not Larry Shell. Una, you can curse. We don't mind.
We do it all the time.
Colin Morrison, Prendergast needs game time. Yes, he absolutely does. Plain and simple. He won't get the game time. But Leinster, for the moment, Connacht should be a reasonable choice as a loan option. Very true, Colin. He's probably third or fourth choice at Leinster at this stage, I think.
No, and he shouldn't be.
Yeah, he shouldn't be. You're right, Claire. Dara Weston, as a Leinster fan, we can't pick Prendergast over the current Irish 10. Ross, I prefer to see him go on loan to another province and get consistent game time to compete with Ross for the Irish shirt. Yes, Dara Weston again, so long as he doesn't go to Munster, they've broken most of Leinster players. We've given them. Good man, Dara. Always gets the Munster dig in. Good man, Dara. Megan, if Connacht can have a loan of Prendergast, then can I be allowed a loan of Timothy? Megan, really, you can't be talking that. Mark Hunter, evening, Mark. How are you? Hope all was well. Hands off, we still
need him.
Yeah, okay. Colin Morrison, unfortunately, the Byrne brothers are ahead of him because his lack of physicality at the moment. Completely agree, Colin. Yeah. A year playing regular URC at Connacht would do him the world of good. Yeah. Okay. Now, before we move on, Jesus, loads of comments. Sorry, folks. If he goes to Connacht, we need Grennan to promise you to make sure he doesn't come back with a load of stupid tattoos like Mac. Good man. Mark Hunter, if he goes to France, he'll get game time, but maybe too much. But
yeah,
that's the downside.
Yeah, that's
a big worry I'd have, definitely.
Remember when Johnny came back from France? I remember the first game back in the RDS after Johnny came back, and I remember looking at him going, "Oh my God, the man looks like sick." He looked, and he was like in his prime at that, like slightly older at that stage, and he looked sick when he came back. Yeah.
But just to continue Mark's point there, he's flogged to death. Yes, at least Connacht will be protected from burnout, and he definitely needs game time. Surplus to requirements at Leinster. Yes, at the moment he is, Mark, and doing no one any good, especially him. Dara, where's Megan saying to Granite, no more dad jokes and you can have a land. Okay. Dara Weston, I think top 14 being so physical would destroy a young lad Sam's age, and no coach would care about sacrificing him because he's not going to be a French international. Kind of kind of echoing what Mark Hunter said about being flogged. Joe Lyons, Christ Dara is catching my number of posts usual. Enough. Okay. Moving on. Mike Reedy, Pete, Claire. Again, another topic we're not going to spend too much time on. The rumor mill. The rumor mill was in overdrive. We're around 52 minutes already. Jesus Christ. The rumor mill was in overdrive. Jackman, your man Demps on the Twitter machine. Pollard to Leinster. I'm just going to throw it out. Leinster don't need Pollard.
When I seen that, I was imagining you having a heart attack. I was so imagining you going, "Oh, that."
How the fuck do you think I felt? You all know how I feel about that.
Go on, Mike, Nigel Farage.
Absolute fucking nonsense.
EDL.
What's he going to do for Leinster? What is he going to do for? He
doesn't play. Want him, Mike. We don't want him. We don't want him.
The type of game he plays. His game plan is completely the opposite to everything. I know you have Nienaber there now, and he might, but he can't even get a fucking game for what's he do for Leicester? He ain't a Leinster player. He's fucking not even anywhere in the same bracket as a Leinster player. I'm sorry, but
yeah.
If Leinster go down that fucking route, by the way, that is the death of Leinster.
Mike, we don't fucking want him.
I know that.
Peter doesn't want him. There might be some Leinster supporters that want him.
Peter Martin, any thoughts on this rumor? Pollard to fucking Leinster, Jesus Christ.
Other than it's probably there as someone's there with a fishing rod, using it as bait just to annoy people.
Yeah, to annoy fucking.
Yeah, him being one.
Like we really should be just knocking it in the head and not even acknowledging it. To be honest,
it was there. So
right. Anyway, there to annoy people.
Yeah, well, there you go. That's it. Right, an actual signing that has happened, Claire.
Is the Ulster number 10? That's Ulster, the Hurricanes.
Aidan Morgan has signed from the Hurricanes for Ulster, a competent number 10. I don't know much about the lad.
He's very competent. Yes.
I don't know much about him. But he is Irish qualified, Mike.
He is qualified, yeah.
I'm happy with that. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Good.
No mercenary stuff going on here.
Mike's okay at passport control.
Mike's okay. Yeah. Show us your green underpants there, Aidan. No, yeah, you're good to go. Claire, Aidan, this guy, Aidan Morgan, I don't know anything about him. Do you know anything about him?
He's 22.
Yeah, go on.
22, plays for the Hurricanes. He's their 10. He has had 23 starts in 2 years, last 2 seasons, and has scored 26 points. I do believe. Yeah. He's only a kid now. 26 points.
How many starts?
23.
In two seasons?
Yeah. He's only 20. He's only 21, like. He's literally only 21. No, he's 20. He was born in 2002, I think.
22.
Yeah, I think he's only about 22 or 23. He's younger than, yeah.
Okay.
He seems, he plays in the Bunnings as well. He plays for Wellington. In the Bunnings NPC.
Okay.
Now, he was capped for the under 20s for New Zealand a couple of years ago.
All right. Okay.
So, yeah. Sorry, I do watch, as you're the Pete knows, I do watch my Super Rugby at times.
I know. That's why I brought it up. Peter Martin, this guy, Aidan Morgan.
I remember watching him. As Claire alluded to, like I remember watching when it was bothered to cover a bit more Super Rugby last season. I do remember seeing him play. He was only a young kid, and he looked pretty good. Like he's got that kind of confidence about him. There's plenty of YouTube slideshow reels online, and he looks really good as a exciting running out half. He's played 23 games, according to Claire. Like when you think about it, there's only 12 Super Rugby teams, and I know that it's not simple maths to say that there's 22 games played, but he's played enough games over the last 2 seasons. He's had plenty of exposure playing Super Rugby. So he's, for a guy of his age, he's quite, I would say, well road tested as a player. He's the opposite side of the spectrum to, he's basically where we want Sam Prendergast to be, probably.
Yeah.
Insofar as he's had 2 half seasons or thereabouts, where he's played top level rugby and scored points and has embedded confidence in his own ability. So I'd say he could be a real game changer for Ulster. Ulster are going to have a team of kids next season, but they're going to be great to watch.
Yeah, true. I would totally agree with you, Pete, and Claire. Mike, this Aidan fella coming to Ulster. I mean, Ulster need.
Oh, absolutely they do. And you know something, lads? He's had 20 odd games for the Hurricanes. You don't get 20 games for the Hurricanes if you're a fucking shite. It's as simple as that. Especially at 10. He'll be able to play rugby, and you know something, he could be a godsend to Ulster rugby. And young Murphy could be his backup 10, maybe coming from Leinster.
Jake Flannery from Munster.
That's right, he's there as well. Yeah. So there's they'll probably be okay. I'm glad to see him getting young lads as well, because that's what Richie Murphy has been used to managing, and he's very successful at it. So, and he will have seen him playing at under 20s. He probably have played against him.
Yeah,
like with Ireland under 20s. So, I think it's a good signing. Yeah, and in fact, the Irish qualified lads all for it, right up there.
Yeah, go on, Nigel first. Okay.
I think he might be playing. The Canes are playing on Saturday against the Highlanders. Not sure if that squad has even been announced yet. If you want to watch, Hurricanes are playing the Highlanders at 5:30 in the morning, Saturday morning. It's the last round of the Super Rugby before they go to their quarterfinals, and the Crusaders still, after losing 8 or 9 on the trot, still have an outside chance of taking the 8th spot. I don't know how. It's like
Maths.
They're like Connacht, Claire, coming into.
Yeah, no, literally, it's from like they were all but then buried after 8 in the trot, and now they have this weird outside chance of coming in. Sorry, I know we don't watch Super Rugby, but just I know I do watch it occasionally. Yes, I
It's
do.
on too early. I don't get up early anyway.
Yeah,
Right,
5:30 in the morning. Right,
no,
an hour.
not a-
Look, you're on an hour. You're on an
I
hour.
know that. I know. You know us. We don't really go over it anyway. Mark Hunter, Pollard rumor, definitely madness. How many fucking tens do you bollockses want? Thanks, Mark. We
We want the decent one.
we want them all. We
100.
want them all.
Really
Darren Western,
bastard.
Pollard to Leinster.
Want to get rid of half the fucking shite ones they have.
That's true, yes. We don't need another fucking kicker. Dyer, if you want an Irish 10 playing in Leinster, we don't need him for centre cover either. Yes, thanks, Dara. Pollard to Leinster. You posted the same thing twice. Gregor Galway, I can imagine Mike doing passport controls. Yes,
Fucking right he is, even though I don't live in Ireland.
Mark Hunter also ran the Morgan deal with Mike first to make sure he wasn't a mercenary. Mike, you're getting a bit of a pace in here now.
That's all right. I'm okay with that. I can take
right,
that.
Okay. Gregor Galway, Mark Hunter. Yes, I can imagine him doing passport control, checking if the new players are qualified for Ireland. Yeah. Okay.
You want to be?
Well, there you go. Oh, by the way, I know again another player I know nothing about. Another new signing. Munster have signed this fella. What's his name?
Tacker Abrahams.
Ticker Abrahams from Leon. He's a winger and a fullback. Never heard. I know nothing about him.
He's dynamite, allegedly.
Is he? Do you know what about him, Pete? I don't know what about him.
He's a bot and he's
all I need to
fast.
fucking know.
Who?
Okay.
Oh, yeah, your man coming up the South African dude.
To Munster, Ticker Abrahams.
He's meant to be very good. I don't know anything about him, but someone knows more about rugby than I do said he's actually very, very good.
Well, I'll tell you what, he did. I don't know how he got past me. I'm not sure how that worked. How that's worked.
You weren't at your station there, Mike. You weren't at your station.
That drinks cabinet there over your right shoulder is the problem.
You get the side down there, Mike.
Scotch whiskey.
Must be that. Too much of that.
Two things, are two players worth mentioning before we go on to the games coming up next weekend, because I think I was going to actually chat about the final, but I think we've covered that pretty much. The Leinster, I think we've spoken about that.
Yeah, I think we've all covered that.
Yeah, we've all covered that. So just to throw, it's worth a mention. Two players that are retiring.
Rhys Ruddock.
Former Sharks, Harlequins, Munster and Ireland player Leah Lyons announced her retirement. I thought she was a great player. And obviously Rhys Ruddock. Anyone? Claire, you look like, you know what, Claire? You look like you look like that scene in the Titanic. Draw me.
Sorry. I know the only thing I remember meeting. Sorry, I remember meeting Rhys Ruddock I think it was the start of the 2016 season, and I remember Dave, God rest his soul, Dave was with me, and we met him on the way into the RDS. And I remember the man, for such a big hulking rugby player, the man was so softly spoken and such a fucking gentleman. And when I heard it the other day that he was retiring, that was the first. None of his rugby. I know he was a great rugby player, but none of them popped into my head. That was the first thing that popped into my head, was walking into the RDS with Dave, God rest his soul, and that. You know what I mean? So he will be missed. He was a great player.
Yeah. He always left everything on the pitch.
Yeah, on the pitch. Yeah.
Pete, Mike, anything about the Leah Lyons and Rhys Ruddock?
Happy retirement to Rhys. He's been a fabulous servant to Leinster rugby, and was it not for the fact that he was competing against some of the best operators, like in his position, that Ireland have ever had, so like he'd have had more Irish caps, but he never let anybody down. Any time he did take the pitch for Ireland, he didn't let us down. And for Leinster, he's always been a steady, strong influence, and he's a proper leader on the pitch as well.
Yes.
Good operator. He had the full package. He had, by the way, and he was very unfortunate not to get more Ireland caps. But happy retirement, Rhys. You don't owe anybody anything in the game. I'd
like to see him get a run on in the RDS on Friday.
I think he will, Claire. I think he will.
Yeah.
Pete, any thoughts on Leah Lyons?
No, other than just to echo what Mike said, like he's been unfortunate insofar as like you know, there's such a depth of talent in the back row that someone has to lose out, and unfortunately it was Reese. Like he played in all back row positions. He was a favorite of Joe Schmidt. That's where he got the bulk of his caps, if not all of them. You know, and look, he's been a fantastic servant to Leinster, the captain of the team when he's played, and wish him well I believe he's taken up a coaching role with Lansdowne when he finishes up.
Yeah.
So best of luck to him with that. He won't be far away.
But he's staying in the game.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, folks. We were coming to the end. We have two.
We're well over the end.
Yeah. Well, we normally go to 115, 119, 120, something like that. But anyway, we're going to be well under that.
2 hours.
We're going to be well under that this week. Claire, I'll come back to you. 2 interpros on this weekend. The first one is on Friday. Leinster entertaining.
See you there.
You might do. I'll let you know. You might do. Leinster entertaining Connacht. Connacht need, I think, a bonus point win.
Yeah.
They need a bonus point win, don't they? I'm right.
Bonus point win, they do. Yeah.
Another result go their way as well.
Another results to go their way.
Exactly. Yeah. So they're in Hail Mary country this weekend.
Yeah. Well, hey.
Yeah. Go
on. You never know. Hail Marys have worked in the past. Was it 8 years ago that you bet us? Yeah.
2016. James Grennan keeps.
I seen it today. Yeah, no, I was seeing it today. Yeah, it's memory of the one and only time we went in.
Fair enough. Fair play.
It's like fucking England football with their 1966. It's coming home. It's coming home. Which is
I hope. I'd say Leinster. And it's going to be bittersweet to be in the last game in the RDS before it all gets done up. So, I'm in.
All right, fair enough. Thanks, Claire. Pete, Leinster entertaining Connacht in the first of 2 interpros this weekend.
Yeah, if it's not, no offense to Connacht, but if it's not a massacre, people are going to be going, what the fuck is going on with Leinster? There's going to be a reaction. There has to be a reaction. So unless it's, you know, it needs to be probably something like, you know, 25-0 or thereabouts by half time against Connacht. Otherwise, it'll be the Leo out crowd will be getting louder. No, look, I think it's gonna be a win. I think it has to be a significant win. Leinster need to bounce back, make a statement, stamp the feet, and say we're fucking serious about the URC. It's all hell's bells. We're going for it. Like, it has to be a statement. Has to be made.
Sorry, Pete, I didn't mean to interrupt. You're actually fucking bang on with that. I never thought of it that way. There does need to be a reaction by Leinster.
There needs to be an angry reaction. Like
yes.
a bit of fucking shirt pulling, handbags, you know, testing each other's jerseys and so on. That kind of shite needs to, you know, and get the crowd behind them. A bit of anger, a bit of emotion in it.
Yeah,
absolutely. I'm fucking going to win this URC. You know, pump the arms to the crowd, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, totally agree. Just before I come to you, Mike, on this, Fintan Flannelly, who is in Dubai, what kind of package did Mike say Reece Ruddock? Jesus, Claire.
Package.
Claire didn't even mention anything. Claire didn't even mention anything about his package.
I can't say anything about his package either. You must be taking up with somebody else, Fintan.
Fintan, looking forward to seeing how Hugo does in Madrid this weekend. Yes, I think we all are. Fintan, hope you're keeping well, Fintan. By the way, over in Dubai, hope the weather's good, which I assume it is. And Dara Weston,
no more good.
I'd be in the RDS. Leinster need to put serious marker down for the URC, and I'd say there'd be a bonus point and Leinster to win by 3.
Dara, send me a message. Let me know where you're sitting.
There you go, Dara. There's a challenge. If you want to sit beside a spice bag eating.
No, I just don't meet up to say hello. I always tell people I meet up, and then I either get stuck in traffic or get lost on the way there.
Well, that's true, yes. Or you miss your train. Mike Grady, Leinster v Connacht in the RDS.
Well, it's kind of shit or get off the pot now for Leinster after the weekend there. I think there will be a reaction. I'll be disappointed at them if there isn't. I'll be disappointed at them as rugby players and as a team that they're not, if they don't stand up and think fuck this. we weren't good enough at the weekend, and we need to be good enough. And I really do think that they will raise their game. I think it's a bonus point win for Leinster, and I mean, even if Connacht were to get a bonus point win, which I don't see happening, they I don't think they're going to get into the top 8 anyway. But I expect Leinster to put out a strong team from here to the rest of the competition. They have to. See this bollocks. It hasn't worked for them, by the way. Resting players, they're not match hardened. There's various different things, you know. And I think they'll put out a strong team, and they'll get a bonus point win. And they actually need to for their own position in the table now, because they don't want to be finished fucking 4th.
Yeah, well, I think their quarter-final is going to be in the RDS anyway. I think.
It will be. It depends.
It will be, yeah. I think it is.
Yeah, it will be. If we finish toward replace 6, whoever's the top position in the table gets home semi-final. So home venue for finals. Yeah, it's 4th versus 8th, 2nd versus 7th, 3rd versus 6th, and 4th versus 5th. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks, Claire, for that. Thank you, gents. Mark Hunter, totally expect a reaction from Leinster and feel sorry that Connacht should be the whipping boys. All right. Megan Augusta is hoping for a Leinster win. Finton's back. All good in Dubai. My under-14 Dubai Shark girls won the UAE under-14 girls A-League in the grand final a few weeks ago. I know. I saw your post, Finton.
Well done.
And a few other terms this season. Good man. Well done to the Dubai Sharks girls under-14s. Well done to you all. Congrats. Nice one, Finton, by the way. Nice one. Well done. Dara Weston, the only positive Connacht may expect from the RDS is a chance to have a chat with Sam. Now, and the last game, Mike Reedy, I'll come to you first and we'll go around this way down. We finish on this. The last game, 2 teams, Mark Hunter, I know you're watching. I'd be interested to hear your thoughts on this. Mike Reedy, the second Interpro, Munster, 2 teams that are playing well. They're playing well at the moment. Munster are playing Ulster, Munster home, Thomond, I presume. It would be for an Interpro. Munster playing Ulster. What do you think, Mike? 2 teams that they are playing well. This is going to be the match of the weekend.
Yeah, see, 3 or 4 weeks ago, I would have said comfortable win for Munster. I don't think it's going to be comfortable at all. Ulster are going to come there with all. I mean, they want to finish high in that table as possible as well. I think they've guaranteed their place in the top 8 anyway.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest. At home, I expect Munster to win because Munster have played very, very well. Now, maybe the weekend off won't have suited them. I don't know. We'll find out on Saturday. I expect Munster to win. Don't know about a bonus point this time. I think if they win by any score, they're top the table anyway. So I think they would be happy with that.
So you go with a Leinster
I'm going to go with a Munster. I'm going to go with a Munster win. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going Leinster win and Munster win.
Yeah.
Okay, Pete, Munster, Ulster, 2 teams playing well. This is going to be a cracker of a game. What do you think?
Yeah, just exactly. That's exactly it. As Frank Carson would say, this is going to be a cracker.
Yeah.
It's going to. There's going to be nothing in it. I would say. I'd say, to be honest with you, I don't think. Munster have announced a note of new contract extension, so it's going to be a bit of a feel-good buzz around, the camp. I would say, long story short, it's going to be Munster by maybe 5. That's about it. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be belter, as you said. It'll be the game of the weekend.
Yeah. Someone there says there, Joe Lyons.
Murphy officiating.
Yeah, would prefer independent officials, to be honest. Yeah,
officiating what?
The game.
Officiating Ulster game. Ulster game.
Murphy is the next player. Claire.
I think I'm going to go Leinster and Ulster. I reckon Ulster could do it.
Okay. Dara Weston agrees with you, Claire. He says, I think Ulster could
thanks.
pull off a shot
Thanks,
in
yeah.
Thomond.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or is it the 4G pitch in Musgrave? I'd imagine for an Interpro, Dara,
it's be a Thomond Park.
It'd be Thomond Park, yeah.
Musgrave only holds fucking 10,000 or something around that.
Doesn't matter. Hold on this way.
Finton says, in all fairness, it would be nice to see Zebo sign off on a high, but not.
Oh, yeah, it's Thomond Park. It is Thomond Park.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice sentiments, Finton. Yeah. Zebo. Yeah. Whatever. Mark Hunter. Pressure. Mark Hunter being an Ulster fan, Ulster supporter, and he's not a bad guy. Actually, I've met Mark.
He's actually nice.
He's all right.
He's all right.
He's all right. He's an all right bloke.
Get him on.
Yeah, we should have him on there. Pressure of Ulster now that they've qualified top 8, beat Munster 3 out of last 4. Not overly happy that Frank in charge and Brace TMO. Yeah, I know.
What Andrew Brace.
I know what you're saying, Mark. I know what you're saying.
Oh, and hold on. Can we just say
one second? Had good Italian Reds and officials for Ulster v Leinster, so why not?
Is he talking about wine?
I don't know what Mark probably has a few glasses of wine inside him at the moment. Sorry, go on, Claire. Anyway, you were saying.
Just okay. I'm going to be sarcastic here. Ben Whitehouse gets his 100. Well, whatever. For officiating, and it's like how? Exactly. I mean, it's a bit like what I seen that. I was like, oh my god, no.
Out near TV screen at all that.
I know, yeah. But there you go. So well done, Betty.
Anyway, folks, that's that we're way over time as always, and that we have to leave it there. Thank you all for your for watching, for your comments, for your thoughts, for your
everybody.
Thank you all very much. My thanks to Matt Boland, who had to leave us early because he said beforehand he was leaving us at about 20:09. He has a prior engagement. My thanks to Mike Reedy, as always, Peter Martin, as always, and Claire Devaney, as always. Claire, you can now go to bed and get up at stupid o'clock in the morning for work, as you told us you were doing.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. We will see you all again next week. Good luck and take care. Thank you very much.
Bye.